talking about the Warriors. They took care of Luka and the Mavs last night, and Steph Curry is doing what many thought he'd never do again. Back in the finals for the sixth time in 8 years. Steph won a ring before KD. Now he has a chance to win another after KD. Nick, I got to ask, is Steph on the brink of being a top 10 player of all time?
Okay, so here's the problem with top 10s. And with seemingly everyone's top 10 but mine. Everyone else's include 14 people. That's not a thing. Top 10s must include 10. Now, Steph did just become a part of this now 10-man class that I've been talking about. Win a league MVP, go to 6 finals. Kuzi, Russell, Kareem, Magic, Michael, Duncan, Shaq, Kobe, LeBron, Steph. However, he's not top 10. Because of those 10 guys I just mentioned, or 9 guys other than Steph, the only guy on that list he's better than is Kuzi, and then there's other names you got to deal with. So here's the deal, Antoine. The top 6 players in NBA history, without question, people are going to argue about the order: Kareem, LeBron, Michael, Magic, Wilt, and Russell. There's 6 names. To me, then there's a next group: Kobe, Bird, and Duncan. Now we're at 9 names. For Steph to be top 10, he's got to then be better than everyone else. And the everyone else starts with Hakeem, Shaq, Jerry, Oscar, Dr. J. And then the next group would be Moses, KD, Giannis. I think Steph has overtaken Moses. He's still ahead of Giannis. He's overtaking KD. I would put him ahead of Jerry and Oscar. And as much as it hurts my heart, I think at this point I have to put him ahead of Dr. J. I don't know if I want to, but I think I have to. But that still only gets him to 12. So no, I think top 10, unless folks are going to sit here and say he's better than Shaq and Hakeem, or unless people want to argue he's better than Kobe and Bird, you got to find names to take out. So no, Antoine, I think he's just barely on the outside looking in of the top 10.
Well, we agree on something, that he's not in the top 10, Nick. I'm glad we both agree on that. And that's not even close. I got him at top 30, you know what I mean, in that category. You know, I'm not in a particular
30?
order. He's in the top 30 of all time to play the game right now. So he's definitely in that conversation with a chance to move up that list.
30?
At any time, you know, as he continues to win and continues with his legacy, he'll have an opportunity to move up that list. But top 10, no, that top 10 is solid. You know, Jordan, LeBron, Chamberlain, Bryant, O'Neal, Duncan, Kareem, Magic, Bird, Bill Russell. I mean, that's 10 names right there. And we haven't even started talking about Hakeem Olajuwon, those guys. So, Nick, you make some valid points. We understand. But I think being in the top 30 is where Steph is at right now and can easily move up that list. He'll probably finish – he might finish in the top 15. I can see him finishing in the top 15 before his career is done.
All right, he's in the top 15, Twan. I feel like a commercial from the old network, all right? And he's closing in on 10. Nick's right. Who you taking out? I'm with you on that. But let's define something. When we're talking about best players, because they all play different positions and they all have different roles, I want to say we're not talking about a checklist of skills. Okay, we're not talking about who has the greatest bag, because Shaq's skills are going to be different from a guard's skills. We're not talking about who would win a game of one-on-one. All right, I talked with Tracy McGrady within the last week. He said LeBron's the best player of this generation. There's a lot of guys that he thinks would beat him in one-on-one. So we're not talking about that. I think the only way to fairly compare guys of different sizes, different positions, different skill sets is impact on the game. And I don't mean, even though this would help Steph, I don't mean you change the game. He's one of the handful of guys that can literally say he changed the game. Period. Wilton Russell, Dr. J, I'm struggling now to find other guys. Magic, Michael Bird, whatever. Right? He's in that group. And so that's huge. But I'm talking about impact, Twan, on winning. Impact on winning. And that is what Steph does. I know he's not a great defender, and that's one thing that hurts him because almost all of the top 10 outside of Magic and Bird, who were tall, 6'9", and they, that helped them defensively, were great defenders. Steph's not, so it's going to be hard to get in there. But he will have this if he wins this ring. If he wins this ring, none of the guys in the top 10 will be able to say they won 2 championships without another top 75 teammate. Now, I know he won 2 with Durant, so that's 2. But if he wins a 4th Wilds, that'll give him 2 championships with no top 75 teammate. No one else can say that. So that's huge. And impact, I'm telling you, y'all sleeping because he's climbing. And if we judge it fairly, we're going to have to start looking at maybe putting him in. It's like Tom Brady, Wilds, quickly. Brady's not going to win a checklist of skills with Aaron Rodgers and Peyton Manning and guys like that. But impact on winning, accomplishments, he got it all, and that's why he's the GOAT. So I just think you're going to have to start considering that with Steph. Not GOAT, but inching toward top 10.
No, I hear you. Here's the other thing, and Nick, I'm going to give you an assignment here that will probably last you an entire year, so I apologize. You can start with this weekend. Kill your plans. You're just going to be making lists. Who defines different times in generations of basketball? I would argue that because LeBron is so one of one, LeBron is so unique, you can't play like LeBron. If you're a kid, you can't play like LeBron. You make the smart pass, but his game is hard to mimic. Steph's game, go to any playground, any YMCA, wherever, go anywhere. Everyone plays like Steph now. If you're playing against kids younger than us, although I know you're only 22, everyone plays like Steph. Whether it's super, not only the amount of threes you're taking, but super deep threes. So I feel like, I understand top 10, and I agree with you, Broussard, it's hard to check it off. But when you talk about the impact on a game outside of the NBA, I would argue that Steph defines this generation. My kids want to play like Steph. Okay. When guys get a ball, they don't shoot layups. They back way up and start bombing shots. And that's
with respect, I don't care about that. That's for a few things. Well, first of all, I can't be 22 when my large adult Slovenian son is 23. That's just silly. You sound dumb. How could I be 22 with a 23-year-old son? That's first of all. Second of all, if I were to say to anyone on this panel, who's the greatest baseball player of all time, we're going to get a lot of names. Probably no one's going to say Jackie Robinson. But if we're like, well, Jackie Robinson changed baseball in a way no one else ever did. Yes, but that's a separate thing. And I understand what Steph's doing is not breaking the color barrier. I'm not trying to make that point. But you can have impact on how a sport is played. Kurt Flood, had impact on all of sports. But that doesn't, I'm not giving you a greatness quotient for that. And again, I know I'm very beholden to these lists. Like, Akeem Olajuwon is a guy people are going to hear, Steph's better than Akeem. Akeem was the single greatest defensive player maybe ever, certainly since Russell. You're not kicking him out. And then you have to deal with Shaq. And then you have to deal with Kobe. You got to kick out multiple guys. And so I don't think he's top 10. But Antoine, I don't think you think he's better than Iverson, which I think is insane. Like, if you don't think he's top 30 yet or barely top 30, I think you're underrating what he's done.
No, I mean, when you guys talk about impact on the game and changing the game, yeah, I got to give Steph his credit for that. He does have the kids out here shooting threes and with range, and the game has definitely changed because of Steph. When you want to talk about that impact of the game, but I'm not ready to move him into that top 25 yet. So I'm not ready to do that. But Chris, I want to add this to you too. You made a comment, a little fun fact that just came to my mind that came up. You said LeBron James did not win with a top 75 player when he won in Cleveland. There wasn't a top 75 player on LeBron's team.
He said didn't win multiple.
No, but I'm saying
he said he wouldn't have won
multiple championships.
He said he wouldn't have won. Steph would have won 2 titles.
He will have 2 if he wins.
Okay, I didn't want you to get carried away.
I was loose with the truth, Twine. I don't know if I'm loose with the truth. Like some people on the fence.
Yeah, no, Antoine, I was thinking the same thing.
He didn't. He didn't. Meanwhile,
Multiple.
Steph now 4 wins away from a 4th ring. We take a turn, talk some Patrick Mahomes. Is he overconfident after